Yo, hello everyone. Uh, I've looked at the forums and noticed that the global players have received 3-star and 4-star selection tickets for the little achievement event recently. And with a lot of choices for it, I know that especially people who are new to the game will have some trouble choosing who to pick. So I'm making this little guide on what to pick because previously I've done only the one on the 3-star light and dark selection ticket, but even that one is already a bit outdated because there were some balance changes which affected the units in that tier list that I mentioned. So I'll cover them both in one video and try to do it pretty quickly. So first of all, to exchange your tickets, you will have to allocate this pre-registration keeper. You can find it only in Kaslan, but yeah, from here you select the city, and you can find it right here. And once you're here, you can click buy, and you will be able to exchange that ticket. So you will not receive the 5-star ticket, I believe, but you have the 4-star and the 3-star tickets. So for the 4-star, you have choices for fire, water, and wind element net force. And for the 3-star ticket, you have a choice of light and dark 3-stars. So quickly, I'll start with the light and dark 3-stars because it's a bit more straightforward. So first of all, by far the best pick to pick is the fire, or I mean the dark harpy. This unit, her third skill allows you to apply defense break and branding, or damage taken up as it's called in this game. And it will be the main monster to set up a lot of dungeon and raids. A lot of people use it, a lot of high people use, I mean high level, not high, I mean high people can use it, but yeah. High level people still use her because she's like, she is the solo monster who can pretty much set up the runs for success as long as you bring Helia, so the Dark Harpy, as well as an attack buff. That's more than enough for most of the dungeons. The second best pick is the Light Garuda. He's very similar to the Water Garuda, except his third skill is a little bit different. So his heal is on a 1 mana higher cost. However, his third skill also revives a dead unit, and this is extremely useful in a lot of different content. First of all, reviving your units in PvP like Battlefield. It will be insanely useful in reviving your units in Galagos ruins because you can simply swap out the Light Garuda, revive your units, and continue the run with the revived units. And if you own both of those, there is the third pick that I picked, and I would say this is something I do use occasionally, especially in Galagos ruins, and it is the Dark Living Armor. His third skill, as well as his second skill, actually has a lot of debuffs, which are helpful for setting up those units to, first of all, do more damage to them, as well as less damage to you. So he has weakened attack, he has weakened defense, and he has block beneficial effects, and all of those effects can be applied to all monsters around you, not just a single target. So yeah, he's my third pick. If you own all three of those, just simply look around and see whichever monster you like, because most of them are not too great. You can pick another reviver, for example, like the Light Mummy or the Light Pixie are a good choice. But yeah, now I'll move to the 4-star tickets. So I'll go by element. I will in the end explain the best choice in my opinion. And I've picked 5 out. So for the fire element, the only unit that I would recommend getting is the Fire Pican Priest. Her second skill has a decent healing for the whole team, and her third skill actually has a cleanse of harmful effects on your whole team, as well as applying invincibility. This will be useful in PvP and pretty much all PvP, like Arena, Battlefield, stuff like that. It is also amazing in Galagos because units there do a lot of damage, and that invincibility is way more useful than any shield, any defense buff could ever be. And with that invincibility, you are able to quickly nuke most of the harder bosses and complete the stage that way. Now going to the water element, the first pick I would recommend is the Water Howl. He is pretty much the best 4-star healer there is. He has a cleanse of 1 debuff as well as a big heal on his third skill, and he has a smaller heal on the second skill. So he's a perfect all-around healer for using in a lot of dungeons, especially if you're early on. However, as you move forward, you will eventually not need a healer. So for now, I currently only use him in some boiling waterfall raids as well as galagos, but he's still an amazing option for healing and by far the best healer as far as 3 and 4 star units go. The third monster I would recommend is the Water Hark. His third skill allows you to gain 3 levels of attack speed, as well as he's an amazing setup for both some PvE dungeons as well as just all around movement speed. Movement speed is very useful in dungeons like Seal, as well as in Galagos Ruins, where you are encountering trap stages, so you'll never go wrong with picking the Water Hark. And now jumping up to the wind one, there are 2 picks from here as well. So the first one would be the Wind Martial Cat. This unit is by far the best damage dealer as far as 3 and 4 star units go. He's sort of a smaller version of the Wind Vampire because her abilities also scale with crit damage and crit rate, as well as basically the more debuffs the enemy has, the higher your crit damage and crit rate will be from her passive. And her skills are extremely cheap to use and have very good multipliers, so you can basically spam her second skill a lot. And she, for example, as I don't own an Argen or units like Brandia, she's pretty much my main damage dealer for raids, for guild raid, and yeah. And the last pick will be the Wind Griffon. This one is very similar to the Water Hark, especially for movement speed dungeons where it's needed, so like Seal, Galagos Ruins for trap stages. But on top of that, he also gives attack speed on that third skill, meaning that he's very frequently used in a lot of dungeon speedruns, and you will see in your leaderboards that a lot of Bernard teams will appear there eventually. Perhaps not just early on, because people haven't still burned those super damage teams, but as people improve, you'll trust me, you will see a lot of Bernards in those top teams. So yeah, if I were to pick one unit out of all of them, I would personally go with the Wind Martial Cat. If you already have her, or for example, if you already have a better damage dealer like Argen or Brandia, I would skip the Wind Martial Cat and would probably go for the Water Howl, because he's an amazing healer for sort of early / mid game. My third pick would probably be the Wind Griffon Bernard, because he's sort of the better option between him and the Water Hark. And yeah, pink, in my opinion, you of course decide on, first of all, on what you already have, and second of all, on what you already want. But my choice would be the Wind Martial Cat, the second choice would be the Water Howl, and the third choice would be the Wind Griffon. Okay, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.